I figured it out. Captain Marvel was 250. And then the week after we did the Endgame predictions, that was 51. Us was 52. Welcome to Geek First episode 253. I figured it out. I am the Wonder Boy, Travis Snell.
I am the one with an exclamation mark at the end of my name, Jessica.
This is the non-spoilers, right?
Would we record the spoilers first and then non-spoilers?
You never know. We like to mess things up here at the Geek.
Yeah,
No, we don't.
We've done 200 and something episodes, and we're going to change it right now.
Just screw over everyone who clicks on the review that goes out today, and we spoil that Iron Man shows up and Thanos snaps and Shazam disappears. It's nuts.
Let's see if I can get this right. I am the Sparkle Fingertips Taylor Field.
I don't know if there was tips.
I don't think there was any tips.
Okay, Taylor's all about the tip. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not guessed, this is the Shazam non-spoilers review. Just a few quick plugs. Jessica, myself, Dylan, and Tyler. We did the Us review. That was lots of fun. I did the Dirt review. That was not lots of fun. The Gauntlet preview will be dropping on Monday because I had Mac problems, so I didn't get to upload it. So it'll be either late tonight or tomorrow.
That's why you go with a PC.
What? No. This is a daughter issue where my cord is broken. I got to replace it. So as long as the cord's in, it's fine. But she decided in the morning just to take it out and yank it and just killed me. So
she does not like podcasting.
No, well, it takes lots of time away. You know, when she's older, she's gonna burn all this gear and we're done. And
actually, I think when she's older, she's gonna tell you to record more.
I'm gonna get her reviewing. She'll kids and
Paw Patrol reviews.
100%. I'm ready to do a Paw Patrol retro.
We can review Dora the Explorer with her.
She can go Taylor. I'm not watching that piece of
fans
crap.
Asked me to review it.
Oh boy! And then Dylan, Taylor, and Jessica are reviewing Umbrella Academy, so that's gonna drop. But let's get into the main thing. We got to see an early screening of Shazam. Jessica, you start. What do you feel? We're going to do non-spoilers. This is just non-spoilers. I'm letting Lady go first. And then when you want spoilers, come back April, is it 5th when it actually comes out? April 5th, April 3rd, whenever it comes out. Yeah, April 5th. When it comes out, we'll drop the spoilers version. But this is just going to be non-spoilers, recommendation, pros and cons in the most Vegas way. So, Jessica, you can take it away.
Okay, taking it away. So we're basically just doing an overview.
Yeah, kind of like what we do at the beginning of every review, and then we just don't get into the other stuff. We will, but not for the viewers' eyes right now. Unless you go to Patreon, and I'm going to put up for the dollar tier because we actually have a few fans that have seen the movie, so it'll be up there. Spoilers version dollar tier. But until then,
I actually went into this movie with zero expectations. I knew nothing about Shazam. All I knew is that DC doesn't put out good movies.
Wow, there's Wonder Woman, there's Aquaman.
I saw Aquaman now and still not.
Wow.
Okay, anyway. So went into this with very low expectations, and I actually came out pleasantly surprised. I was happy with it. I thought there was a lot of really good casting choices. I thought that it was actually quite funny. It's kind of this fun play. Almost like you get a lot of those jokes, but they're more appropriate. The humor is a little lighter. I will say it was kind of going, okay, like we can start to wrap this up now. But overall, I'm really...
You're trying to phrase something without spoiling it?
Yeah, you want to see it or not, but it's hard to, get enough out that you don't say anything, gives people enough to work with. I think that I'm happy that I saw it, or 10 and 12, so I would take them to it. I think it's a good age for them, but it's I think I'll just jump in when you guys are...
Go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Wow, just a big whatever noise that will...
Salivating of the intensity.
I feel so sorry for Madison.
What, the salivate?
Oh, Shazam, get us out of here.
So yeah, Shazam, I totally actually forgot that the early screening was happening this Saturday. If I didn't get a reminder on my phone, I probably wouldn't. There would have been 2 empty seats there, but there wasn't. So, not that I would have hated it, I just forgot. So, but anyways, I didn't forget. I remember it, so went there. It was a good time. Yeah, I was very surprised by the movie. Like, I didn't go in there with like expectations, but I kind of had expectations, like somewhere right in the middle, right down the center. So, it's Yeah, it started off really good. I didn't know how, like, when it started off, I didn't know where they were going with it. But then as the movie progressed and, kind of got into some story here, I liked it. I felt like there was some slow parts.
I don't know if it needed to be. I think it was 2 hours. Look at the full-on runtime. I think you honestly could have made this an hour 40, even an hour 50. I think you could have trimmed, and it's not even that long of a movie. But I think there's a little stuff that didn't need to be in there.
It did feel a little
I think that's
long.
exactly what I was saying. Right near the end, I was kind of like, okay, can we start to wrap this up? And I think that's exactly it. Had it been an hour 45, an hour 50, it would have been.
Yeah, like it's not a spoiler. There's a final battle in this movie. I feel that goes on a little too long. Like I feel a lot of the humor works there, but the actual battle is just kind of like we could have got through this a lot quicker. But it's because it's 2 hours and 12 minutes. Just even shave 10 minutes off that.
Didn't need to be that long.
Yeah.
And there were lots of moments that were just kind of like a lull, where, like as I said, like slow. Like okay, even in some of the fight sequences, like okay, this. You need to pick it up here. Like, what's going on? This makes some magic happen, but it was still a little bit just too slow and too prolonged. But that being said, as overall, like I did enjoy the movie. I love the ending. I thought it was great. And just there were so many parts where the characters were, rubbing me the right way. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Oh boy! Take your kids to this movie and rub them the right way. Taylor, Geek First Reviews. We're never making on Rotten Tomatoes. Which, by the way, please review us on iTunes because we're trying to get to 200 reviews, and that'll give us a nice critic leap. So, but Taylor will not be the one reviewing these movies.
Oh, yeah.
Not the kid movies, at least.
Yeah, I know. I thought that Billy Benson or whatever. Batson. Yeah, that's the guy. I liked his story and his journey. I thought the actor they picked was fantastic for that role. Seeing the former Thor guy pop in here, Zachary Levi.
Former Thor guy.
He played a minor role in Thor 2 and 3. Yeah, he's nobody now.
And the first Thor.
No, that was a different actor. He
was it really?
recasted. Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
It's nobody. It's nothing important.
But yeah.
Taylor's had to talk about Thor as always.
Always comes back to Thor 2. So it was definitely, though, like his character was awesome. I loved how he came in as Shazam and all that stuff throughout the...
What was that?
He came in as Shazam.
Okay. I didn't know if that was English there for a second.
The villain, I actually really enjoyed the villain. Not like super loved, like better than like most other villains out there, like, but he was good. I enjoyed him. Like I loved his story. I loved his whole, his plan of attack and like where he was coming from. And I like that kind of rivalry he had, with the forces of good in this film. And the ending totally took me by surprise, though. I really wasn't expecting that. I got a lot of like specific things I'll pinpoint in spoilers.
Yeah, not here.
No, not here.
No.
Definitely not here. Sorry, folks.
Was that your end there?
Sure.
Okay. Oh God. So this weekend is a little shitty for me because I feel like each movie I'm very excited for, I'm very disappointed, and very not saying this is a bad movie. Us is a little disappointing. Check out the review. Dirt is just one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I wasn't anticipating that, but man, check out my review for that. And then this, I liked the movie. I'm excited for DC because I feel if you look at not talking about Justice League, if you look at Wonder Woman, you look at Aquaman and Shazam, which I all really liked to love, they're all very different. It's kind of like the way when Marvel's doing, like, this is a heist film, this is like a buddy comedy, this is a war film. They kind of had that. Wonder Woman's like a war romance film. Aquaman's like a high, I don't know, just a big adventure. Indiana Jones meets Star Wars meets every just like sci-fi fantasy genre.
And Jaws and Gremlins, according to my mom.
For Aquaman?
Yeah,
it has so many. It's a lot going on in that movie, but that's why I loved it, just because it was like a blender of just weird shit. Like there's a turtle that plays, there's a squid that plays the drums. I like it. And then this to me is like a full-on family movie, and I think that's what threw me off, that I was not expecting it to be as kiddie or cheesy as it was. I still like the movie. When I say I'm disappointed, if I say I hate or don't like a movie, that means I don't like it all. If I'm disappointed, there's still things I like about it. The best thing I like is Zachary Levi's Shazam. Anytime he's on screen, I love all the superhero stuff, all the, like Jessica said about Deadpool. That's where they put in all the, kind of jokes about the genre or flipping on its head. So I really liked all that stuff. I think and I like all the actors. I think they did a good job. I think a lot of the comedy at the beginning, anytime Shazam's not really around, the comedy for me didn't really work. Lots of the jokes with the kids, there's a foster family that's in the trailer, and it just didn't hit with me. And I think it's because for me it was too family oriented. I think that I was just caught off guard so much about that. It was, to me, it felt like one of those Disney movies that are just, this is just a kid's movie, you know. And that's why I think as an adult I won't revisit this movie that much. And I think if the humor hits for you, then it works. I think just a lot of it didn't work for me. Anytime Shazam was on screen, it worked. Other than that, I'd say maybe 25% of it worked. A lot of the jokes were telegraphed. Action and score, I think those are fine. They're kind of generic. There's some good like flying fight scenes. I was not the biggest fan of the villain. I think he is. Taylor's shaking his head. I tricked him. He thought I was going to say something else.
I thought so.
I think he's pretty generic. I guess what I was hoping for was, I knew the plot and the villain was going to be a little generic from the trailers, but I was hoping that I'd kind of have that Guardians feel where I'd laugh the whole time, and I didn't get that. So I was disappointed. I want to see more. I'll be down to see a second one. I want to see more of him as Shazam. I know they're kind of going away, but I would love to see a Justice League too, but hopefully it'd be a better movie and see him mixing around with some of these other people, because they just nail those scenes of a child being a superhero. I think sometimes, I don't know if I think the kid actor is great. I don't know if him and Zachary Levi mesh the greatest, because I feel that when he is Shazam, and I guess you can say that because he has the powers, I feel like he's just a lot more of a bombastic, more happy of an individual. That when he's a kid, he has a bit more of a chip on his shoulder. So that kind of, I didn't get that 100%, but I still liked it. But I think it just was a little too cheesy and hokey for me, and I'd be very worried if this was all DC, but I know in October we have the solo Joker movie coming out, and that's going to be rated R. So that's why I like what they're doing, because we're getting a bunch of different things else. So they still got a dark thing coming. So, I liked it, but it's not anything I'm going to be recommending for people that don't have kids. You know, like same thing. Like I think families are going to love this movie. I think it's really watchable. It's safe. It has those type of adult jokes that kids aren't going to get, but an adult will get. It's kind of like when you watch a kids movie from the 80s and you're like, why didn't I pick that up? Well, it's because you were 10. You know,
like
I think
Shrek.
Exactly. There's so many sexual innuendos in that movie. Yeah. It's nuts. And not that Shazam's like that, but I feel like it is enjoyable for everybody. I get because Star Wars is out, but I kind of wish they did put it at Christmas, because, like, not a big spoiler, it's a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas, and it's probably because Star Wars is on December, they didn't want to put it there. So, you know, if you really like it, you got a superhero Christmas movie along with Batman Returns. So.
And Die Hard, or whatever that other one is.
I don't think it's a Christmas movie. I don't.
What one?
Die Hard. Do you? It's a big debate.
Oh, that is a big debate. We should do a cast about that.
I've never watched it.
You should watch it.
I've never watched it either.
Wow. Do you guys have anything else to say?
I'll add in now that I've kind of listened to what you guys had to say. I'm in between you two. I do like the villain, like his kind of motivation and everything, but I do agree that once you kind of get past that, everything else is pretty generic. There's not a whole lot to it. And I don't remember what you said exactly, but the score in this movie...
No one ever does.
You know, people start going and I kind of zone in and out.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't necessarily like the music for this movie. I felt that they kind of went for that Guardians feel of, you know, trying to be fun, and I just didn't think the music really landed for me.
I think there was some weird editing. At one point there was like music playing and it kind of cut to a scene. I was still playing in that scene, but it kind of just like stopped suddenly. I can't remember the specific scene, but Emily also pointed out to me there was some weird editing going on in this movie. For me, that felt a little off.
Yeah, and some of it started and it was just like it hit me like there was no kind of lead into it. It didn't feel like it should have been there, and I was just like, okay, why? You know, it didn't fit for me. There, you know, it wasn't a scene where the music was playing as part of what was going on, and it didn't fit the surrounding like situation itself. And for people that do listen to us enough, usually I don't notice music. You know,
movies in a row now. You know, Us.
Yeah, and Us was for a good reason. This one, I don't know that I would say it was for a good reason. So, yeah, just add those on to.
The only other thing I'll get you add on, as far as because you were saying you like it on the higher end, where is this ranked number one for you if you think about the DC movies you have seen? So you got Man of Steel, you got BVS in there, you got Suicide Squad, you got Wonder Woman, Justice League, and Aquaman, and now this. I know it's a lot of movies, but is it, as far as those titles, do you hear any one of those that you liked more, or is it kind of just near the top? Obviously, it's not near the bottom for you.
I mean, for sure, you'd like Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and this are top 3. And I would say this is either 1 or 2 for sure. This is probably the most fun I've had in a DC movie.
That's good.
So,
Taylor, same question for you, because it's like I feel like a good non-spoiler to cap it on. And then Jessica, I think you're the same as me, that you would recommend it for like lots of families and probably comic book nerds and whatnot.
yeah, family, comic book nerds, or if you're not looking for something super serious, you're not looking for Endgame.
Exactly.
You
don't need to know 18 movies.
Yeah, you just want to go in and have a fun time. There's no real lead into anything else. You know, there's referencing to Batman and Superman. You know,
which I think those were really well done. Those are really fun. All the like little Easter eggs and stuff. I think they handle that really good.
Yeah, so, you know, you don't even need to know enough about Batman or Superman to enjoy it. It's just, this is the universe. It's fun.
Taylor, same thing. Who would you recommend it to? And then where does it rank in the DCEU for me? For me,
For you.
for me, it's in the middle, and I already say who I recommend it to. So Taylor can end us, and then we'll get out of here.
Recommend it to like old folks' homes kind of stuff.
What specifically about this movie do you recommend to old folks' homes?
I don't know. I think it's just got
The
a
old
lot
Batman and Superman.
Yeah, you know, just a lot of stuff that they can enjoy and get a kick out of. No, I think it's anyone really. You take the kids, take the family, take your parents. You know,
So just everybody. You recommend this to everybody.
I recommend it to everybody. It's a good time. You know, go
that's
in there.
That's a high recommendation.
Let's if you're like in a family and it's just you and a brother and you go see this movie, the movie, you know, it may feel uncomfortable if you're the youngest of the brothers and you start off watching the movie.
Why?
What?
Remember how the movie starts?
I guess I feel like they can know it's fictional enough.
Hopefully.
I think that's the reverse. But I feel like this is a good family movie because I think some of the stuff that I didn't like praise it enough for, but I think there's lots of heart in there and lots of good like about being together and brothers and sisters, and it's about finding your true family. And I think they did that really well.
The family dynamics, I mean, it's real enough. If anyone who's had siblings will agree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can't go in further because it's non-spoilers, but like.
So Taylor recommends for everybody,
except for brothers.
Except for younger brothers.
Be careful. If you guys are like actual brothers and not like foster brothers, then it can be wild, you know.
Jesus. Okay, stop. And then where, as of after only one watch, where would you rank it? Obviously, that's why it's one watch. You could change in the future. But
after rewatching, you know, like
because you love
League
like
and BVS,
you like every DC movie. Yeah. You gave this man is the man that gave Suicide Squad a 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, Will Smith. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'll put.
Are you mad he's recast? You're never gonna see him again.
You know, it's like I was listening to the radio station. They said, you know, he wasn't fired. He didn't quit. He just his schedule is busy, so he could come back.
It was a yes or no. It was a yes or no. Where do you rank this?
I put. I put Batman vs Superman at probably number 1.
Oh my god.
So wait a second. A movie you gave 9 out of 10 is higher than the movie you gave 10 out of 10?
Yeah, remember how I organized this?
No, I don't, because it's preposterous.
If you look at a movie just by itself, like I give a rating just based on that movie and what it provides. But then if I'm comparing that movie to other movies, then it's a whole different thing.
So you're saying, I don't know how I'm saying this, but you're saying like Suicide Squad, in your opinion, is a better made movie with no flaws, but you prefer Batman versus Superman. Wow. Okay. Do your ranking.
Batman vs Superman. Then I'd probably go Aquaman. Then I'd go Shazam.
Is Suicide Squad gonna be like last
Yeah,
on the
where
list?
is
No,
Suicide
I'd probably put then maybe Suicide Squad or Man of Steel. One of those.
And then Wonder Woman's last.
Oh, I forgot about Wonder Woman. Oh yeah,
You
never mind.
pig. It continues.
No, I
Your
would
hate on Captain Marvel.
I put Wonder Woman, Batman vs Superman, and then another descending order that I said of the other ones.
And the other one you forgot was Justice League as well.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Justice League bottom. Okay.
But I like it though.
So wait, are we? Can I ask you? I don't do the 10 out of 10 thing, but what are you guys'?
I'm a 6.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just it's because I enjoyed it, but I always say a 7 is a movie that I really liked, and I'll probably go back and watch. I'll watch this again. I think this is a good movie. I have Gwen, so I think it's a good movie that way. I won't see it in the theaters again. It just didn't impact me enough that I maybe would just go YouTube the best of the Zachary Levi scenes and then watch it. Hopefully I see it again and I like it, but yeah, 6.5. So I guess that's just like a C.
Yeah.
Is that even C? Is that a C plus?
65%? Yeah, that's like a C.
What is it? Is a C plus 70 then? Yeah, it is.
That
yeah,
sounds
because
right.
C to 70. Yeah, because I got a lot of C's back in the day. Yeah, that's right. And then under 60 is 50%. So yeah, I think that's right. You know, the higher end of a C. So yeah.
I'd give this a good 7.9 out of 10.
A 7.9.
What?
But
Can you
this
know-
is like fourth in his list.
Yeah. Can you tell us non-spoiler why it's not an 8? What's the point one that didn't get it to an 8?
It just felt too long. It's the
Okay,
same,
fair enough.
Same con I had with Aquaman. And just
Aquaman
it's
was
too
fucking long.
Oh yeah, you know sometimes you're in there for just a good time and it's too long an experience. Just a quick you need to know one and done moment and that's it.
Wow. Taylor, where can they find us? And then where can they find the spoilers review when that drops April 5th?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us with your internet connection in the search bar. Type in Geek vs. Space Podcast in Googs or wherever you're at. And then
Googs?
On Googs. Oh, yeah. On
You're
Facebook.
like the dad. There's not a big spoiler. There's the dad and us. He makes dad jokes the whole time. You're already set to go.
Yeah? What? For what?
The
dad jokes.
Who uses Googs? Oh, you using the Googs there?
What's wrong with dad jokes? What are your dad jokes?
I try not to have them. I have them, but like I don't call things the
Why do you
Googs.
dad jokes are the best. I love dad
Keep
jokes.
going. Where can they find them?
If you have dad jokes, send them to me.
You want to hear Matt's best dad joke quickly?
Yeah.
So I'm still pregnant for those listening. My husband's dad.
So for the listeners, when you said still pregnant, you've never officially announced that. I've said you've got to make an announcement at some point. So you're just dropping it, still pregnant, and then be like, what?
See, you didn't even have to pay $1 to find out on Patreon.
Yeah, true.
So Matt's tapping on my stomach, and I'm going, "What are you doing?" He's going, "I'm using Morse code. I'm telling him to clean his womb."
Oh, dad jokes are amazing.
You two are done. In the description down below, if you want the video version on YouTube or the podcast version where we're pretty much everywhere. If we're not, search and let us know if we're not. But we're everywhere. Like I said, iTunes, please review, subscribe, like, give us a review, whatever you think. But please, we're trying to get to 200. That would appreciate a lot. Just takes about 2 minutes out of your day. If you really like what we do, Patreon, that's where you get exclusive content, early content. The Shazam spoilers review will be up there for just the $1 amount, and you get a whole whack of other things. Thank you very much. When you hear from us at that spoilers review, it'll not be boring. Fuck you, Taylor Fields. I hate these new microphones. No.
Thank you. Bye.